Well, I'm looking at court 12 over there, and I still remember that because that's where my brother was playing as a young kid. Mum just wanted to get us out of the house, basically. Someone suggested to her that maybe they should enrol Richard in a holiday clinic. Being the younger sister, you know, of course I'd tag along. It was a little bit difficult to join in, but the coach treated me on the last day of the clinic. He allowed me to join in. I think he realised at the time that I had a bit of hand-eye coordination. So I would come for coaching here once a week with my brother. Well, we'd only have half an hour each per week. It meant that I maximised the time on court. It was precious. It meant that I listened. It meant that I worked hard, and I think I've really carried that message right throughout my entire career and really appreciated, I think, the support, the money and the time that it takes to become a professional tennis player. I had a brilliant coach here in Kevin Swanson. He, you know, I owe a lot of my career to him. He was enthusiastic, he worked hard, and he was an incredible coach at the same time. He developed my serve, and I actually don't think my serve has changed from the age of 11 up until, you know, the age of 30 now. I've kept the same technique and the kick serve, and that was a serve that Kevin Swanson developed, I think, when I was 9, 10 years old. So it's amazing how that can be so ingrained. So I owe a lot of my happy times, successes, trophies, titles. Yeah, I feel like this club owns part of that as well, definitely. God, I love this club. I had so many great memories. There's a nice park at the back, so in between junior pennants, singles and doubles, we'd go out there and kick the footy. I'd always make sure if I played a moon baller, that's someone that just, you know, hits the ball incredibly high. I'd intentionally try and play on court number 7. That's because there's power lines running overhead, and of course the more they'd moon ball, the more it'd hit the power lines and the more they'd lose the point. So that was always a real key here when I played at Seaside Tennis Club. You always had to keep that in the back of your mind and factor that in depending on the opponent. You know, if we'd won, Dad would give Richard and I $1.10 to go and use the drink machine. I still remember my choice of drink was the old Spring Gully passion fruit soda, which again isn't probably the ideal thing to drink as a youngster, but a lot of fond memories. And there were some great other juniors that grew up at this club, and you know, I was lucky enough to play a lot of juniors with Leighton. He grew up here as well. So, you know, the bar was set pretty high, pretty young. To me, tennis was my identity. It's what I really identified with. That's where I was my happiest. It was really accessible. That was the beauty of it. So I could do it all the time. It was a choice. I think I was allowed and able to develop my own love and passion for the sport, which is, I think, why I was able to excel at it. I had the choice to love it. It wasn't forced on me. Well, I love that Seaside's kept its origins, and it's, look, we've got the bluestone floor here. This is where we used to sit for trophy nights and, you know, be really excited when we walked up. We've got the old wood grain bifold doors over there which separate the main clubhouse and the bar. I think that's really important. Of course, you want to move with the times and have newer facilities, but at the same time it's nice to keep a bit of heritage. A big part of me would love it to stay just like this.
The rules of etiquette are the agreeable terms of pleasantness that ensure your game stays fun.
If it wasn't for Wellington Tennis Club, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, that's for sure.